November the 10th, 2001, a product was released that day that would change our lives. What was it? If you want to find out, stay tuned. This is Tech for Senior, and we have a great show for you today. Lots of interesting things happening. But first, I want to acknowledge that it is in Canada Remembrance Day, and of course in the United States Veterans Day. And I want to thank, if you are a veteran today, thank you for your service. And we do appreciate that you might want to leave early to go to a service. That's fine. Bill James called me yesterday and said, "Ron, I have a problem. I'm a veteran. I won't be there in the meeting on tomorrow because I'm in the parade." He says, "Not only that, but I'm organizing the parade." So anyway, so Bill won't be here today, but he does have his presentation. So thank you so much for your service, and we have a great show for you today. Before we start though, I wanted to remind everybody about our newsletter. For those of you who read the Saturday newsletter, of course, we had our quiz in there. The other thing in our Saturday newsletter, I put information in there about interesting YouTube channels that I've visited. And of course, we were talking earlier today about cruises. And of course, the one of the my feature this last Saturday was on cruise news. And it's a channel where you get all the latest cruise news, much like our Thursday show, in a condensed format. So it's very interesting. So if you are thinking about cruising or you want to keep up to date on all the latest cruise news, that's a great channel to look at. And you can certainly find that in our Saturday newsletter, which, by the way, is sponsored by sponsored by Geeks on Tour, the Central Florida Computer Society, just a minute, the Glendora Seniors Computer Club. Seniors moment there. Sorry, Glendora Computer Club. Anyway, those are our sponsors. So thank you. Thank you so much for sponsoring our show. Today we have a great show for you. We'll go over that in just a minute. But at half past the hour, we will have our premiere video for you. And today will be I will be talking about a Chromebook buying guide, coming into a buying guide for if you're considering a Chromebook, that I released last year. Bob's going to talk about Copilot settings, and then I'm also going to talk about emergency services for setting up emergency services on your phone. A lot of people are traveling now. It's coming up to traveling season, and you're going to be out on the roads, and you should actually, whether you have an iPhone or an Android phone, is you should look at the emergency services section in your phone and make sure things are up to date, and for contact information and things like that. And we're also going to talk today about, of course, the big talk today will be about satellite services. And this is I'll be doing a presentation today on that. And I think it's really appropriate as people are heading out onto the roads. So we'll be talking about a lot about that today. And we of course have a great panel here today. I'll go over and introduce Huey. You took off on Saturday and you were at quite a reunion, I hear.
Yeah, it's the Tampa Bay Technology Center is what they call themselves now. Used to be the Tampa Bay PC User Group. I was a member back when, shortly after they started, probably a little less than 40 years ago, and this was their 40th anniversary party. And so I drove up to Tampa. It's only an hour drive. So I drove up and joined them for the festivities. It was mostly food and just networking and saying hi and talking to like-minded people, but a lot of people I didn't know, and it was enjoyable. And then the hour drive back. So it was an interesting day, and I was glad I did it.
Do you know what was released on November 10th, 2021? Do you know 2001? Do you know what the product was?
Gosh, I don't remember that far
No.
back. I wasn't old enough.
Bob, do you remember? Have you looked it up? No one's looked it up yet.
Oh.
It's the 23rd anniversary of what today on November the 10th, not the 11th. This is the day before, remember saying. What is the product that was released?
Windows 95?
No,
No, that would have been 1995.
no, this goes back to 2001, you guys. All right. Bob, what happened to all that snow you had? Bob got the award because on last Thursday.
Oh, you're not going to tell us?
Well, I will in a minute.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
going
All
to tell
right.
you.
All right.
I want maybe Ray will get it, or Chris or Jim will. Everyone's scrambling to
Okay.
look on, I'm sure, asking Chat GPT, what is the answer to the question, right? Bob, did you get rid of that snow yet or what?
It melted the same day it fell. It was just there in the morning to say, hey, look, we're almost here for winter. And it's
Ah,
been
okay.
cold ever since, but not cold
Ah.
enough for that snow to stick.
And Ray, where are you? You got a different background there. It looks like you're someplace different.
Yes, I am in Sin City, Las
Oh,
Vegas, and I can tell you there's a few more people and a few more cars than Pine, Arizona. Let me guess, was it Google Chrome?
no,
Nope. Okay.
no, no.
Yeah, I'm here for about almost a week. Carol is attending the Author Nation Writers Conference, and I've come along as her tech assistant. But I'm going to make it my point to attend a few of the sessions on AI. If there's any industry that AI is affecting, it's certainly the writing industry. So I'm interested to see what they have to say.
Very good. And
Yeah.
Chris and Jim, you're back to home cooking, I see. And Jim already cut himself. So
Yeah.
anyway, I mean, if I'm probably like Jim, I'd be happy to be back in the kitchen and doing some of the things I like to do, right, Jim?
Yeah, absolutely. I am her personal chef, so these things.
All right. So did you guys know? So nobody got it. So
Oh,
you
yeah.
obviously don't listen to Leo Laporte's broadcast, because I logged onto the Sunday show, and he was talking about this morning. It's the iPod. The iPod that's 23 years old since it was.
And how many still have an iPod? Does anyone here still have an iPod?
No, but
Yeah,
it
but
changed
it
the
started
world,
the
right?
whole
The only
podcast
It sure
Apple,
thing.
did the whole thing. It started all this.
it's
Yeah.
the only Apple device I own is an iPod.
It's an iPod. Yeah.
I'm not surprised. Why?
November
It's
the
the only
10th.
Well,
one
it's
I
something
didn't
that was
own.
it was
I
something
never
that
owned
was
one.
given to me at one of the presentations I did for a club.
Oh, that's nice.
Yep.
Yep. So there we go. All right. We better get on with the show because we have a busy, busy time. So Bob, take it away.
Here is my Tech Talk and Beyond for the week ending November 8th, 2024. And this week's topic is the benefits of minimalism. Less stuff, more freedom. Less stuff, more freedom. Introduction. Do you ever feel like your home has turned into a storage facility filled with things you don't need or even remember buying? Minimalism might just be the answer. But don't worry, minimalism isn't about throwing away everything you own and living in a barren room. It's about gaining freedom, mental, emotional, and even financial, by owning less. Let's explore how living with less can actually lead to more freedom in ways that will make you laugh, breathe easier, and maybe even save some money. Number 1, freedom from clutter. Clutter has a way of multiplying when you're not paying attention. Whether it's the kitchen gadgets you never use or that infamous junk drawer, clutter makes it harder to find things and adds unnecessary stress. Minimalism encourages you to pare down to essentials, which means fewer things to lose and fewer panicked searches for your keys. Bonus tip, less stuff also means less cleaning. That's a winner. Number 2, less stress, more calm. Have you ever noticed that a cluttered room makes you
Not seeing
feel
the
on
presentation.
edge? That's no accident. Science says clutter can raise your cortisol levels, also known as your stress hormone. With minimalism, your space becomes a sanctuary instead of a source of stress. Fewer things equal fewer distractions, which helps you focus and feel more at peace in your surroundings. The humor here, you can finally stop feeling judged by the pile of laundry you've been avoiding. Number 3, more money in your pocket. One of the sneaky benefits of minimalism is the savings. When you stop buying things impulsively, you start to realize how much money you were spending on stuff you don't need. Minimalists adopt a mindset of buying with intention. No more retail therapy or falling for flashy ads. Fun fact, decluttering can also make you some extra cash. That treadmill you never use? Sell it. You'll be amazed at how much people are willing to pay for things you've forgotten about. Number 4, more time for what matters. Imagine waking up to a tidy, clutter-free home. You don't have to spend hours cleaning or searching for misplaced items. That's the beauty of minimalism. It frees up your time to focus on things that truly matter to you, whether that's spending time with family, working on hobbies, or simply relaxing. Relatable scenario. No more cleaning the living room for 2 hours before you can enjoy movie night. Number 5, better relationships. It might sound odd, but having less stuff can improve your relationships. Minimalism shifts the focus away from material possessions and encourages us to value experiences and connections. Instead of worrying about what to buy for the next holiday or event, how about planning a fun day together? Real talk, less stuff means more quality time with the people you care about. You'll have more room for meaningful conversations, shared experiences, and laughter. Number 6, smaller environmental footprint. Minimalism isn't just good for you, it's good for the planet. By buying and consuming less, you're reducing waste and conserving resources. It's an eco-friendly lifestyle that benefits everyone. The less we consume, the less waste ends up in landfills, and the fewer resources are needed to produce new items. Think of it as adulting for the planet. It's like being the eco-conscious hero without the cape, unless you want a cape, in which case, go for it. Number 7, minimalism encourages mindful consumption. Instead of filling your home with things you don't need, you'll start asking, will this add value to my life? That simple question helps you become more intentional about what you bring into your space. This mindset shift also brings a sense of contentment with what you already have. Pro tip, when you're content with what you own, you stop chasing after trends or feeling the need to keep up with others. Number 8, quality over quantity. Minimalism doesn't mean deprivation. It's about quality over quantity. Minimalists tend to invest in well-made, long-lasting items instead of cheap products that break or wear out quickly. So instead of buying 10 pairs of shoes that fall apart, you buy one good pair that lasts. Lesson learned. No more regretting those impulse purchases that end up broken after 2 uses. Number 9, more room for personal growth. With fewer material distractions, you have more time and space for personal growth. Whether it's picking up a new hobby, learning a new skill, or simply spending more time reading and reflecting, minimalism opens up opportunities to invest in yourself. When you're not buried under your possessions, you can focus on what truly matters. Number 10, minimalism looks different for everyone. There's no one way to be a minimalist. Some people go all out and live in tiny homes, while others simply focus on decluttering and keeping only the things they truly love and use. The key is finding a balance that works for you and makes your life easier, not harder. Remember, minimalism isn't about having the least stuff. It's about having the right stuff. It's about simplifying your life in a way that works for you. Conclusion. At the heart of it, minimalism is about more than just owning less. It's about freedom. Freedom from clutter, stress, financial burdens, and the constant chase for more. It's about making space for the things that truly matter and finding joy in simplicity. So the next time you feel overwhelmed by the stuff around you, take a deep breath and consider, what can I let go of to make room for more freedom in my life? After all, less stuff really does mean more freedom. You'll find the video used in today's Tech Talk at the link listed. Did you know? The Constitution of India is the longest written constitution of any sovereign country in the world, containing a preamble, 470 articles grouped into 25 parts, 12 schedules, 105 amendments, and comprised of 146,385 words in its English language version. In cultures around the world, nodding your head up and down to indicate yes and shaking your head side to side to indicate no is nearly universal, except in some southeastern European areas, such as Bulgaria and southern Albania, where they indicate the opposite. There is no key to the front door of 10 Downing Street, the official residence of the British Prime Minister. The door is attended 24 hours a day by a guard who is responsible for opening the door and keeping it locked from the inside. I just thought you might like to know. When I was little, my mother taught me how to use a fork and knife. The trouble is that Mother forgot to teach me how to stop using them. Thanks to ℙ𝕝𝕝𝕝. Success is a lousy teacher. It seduces smart people into thinking they can't lose. Thanks to Bill Gates. And that's a wrap for this week's Tech Talk and Beyond. Stay safe, stay secure, and I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye, and thanks for reading, watching, and listening.
So that's a very thought-provoking video, Bob. Did you show us that before Black Friday just to keep us online? Was there a reason why you chose that topic today?
I specifically made that one for you, Ron.
I thought I will never get to know my personal Amazon driver's name again if I adopt that attitude. So anyway, well done. Interesting thought. I thought it was a great video. So the next one I have for you today is of course talking about satellites and cell phones. I think that this is a new technology that has really come up this past year, and I just wanted to clarify it for everybody. And also, as I said earlier, it's something that you can set up and use that's free, and you can try it on, well, not all the phones have this, that's the problem, but let me explain this all in the video, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of questions afterwards. So let's just get this going. Hey Tech Explorers, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a game-changing feature that's bridging the gap between civilization and the great outdoors: satellite messaging on iPhone and Pixels. For years, staying connected meant relying on cell towers. But what happens when you're off the grid, hiking, camping, or exploring remote areas? That's where satellite messaging comes in. Both Apple and Google have integrated this life-saving technology into their latest phones, but with some key differences. Let's break it down. Essentially, these phones can now connect directly to satellites orbiting Earth, allowing you to send messages even when you have no cell service. This is huge for adventurers, emergency situations, or simply peace of mind when you're off the beaten path. Apple introduced emergency SOS via satellite with the iPhone 14 series. This feature allows you to contact emergency services when you're outside a cellular or Wi-Fi coverage. It's free for 2 years after activating a compatible iPhone. With iOS 18, Apple expanded its capability with messages via satellite. Now you can send and receive text messages with friends and family, not just emergency services. This is a game changer for those staying in touch while exploring the wilderness. Now, some of you are wondering, what about Samsung and their S24 phone? Well, unfortunately, no. Despite rumors and even a promise from Samsung that satellite connectivity would be coming to the Galaxy phones in 2024, the Samsung Galaxy S24 series, including the S24, the S24 Plus, and the S24 Ultra, do not have satellite connectivity. This means that you can't use the S24 to send emergency messages or make calls when you're outside of a cellular coverage area. Now, if you don't have an iPhone, the only other cellular phone now that connects with satellite is the Google's Pixel 9. Now, some of you probably thought the Pixel 8 actually would connect, and Google initially thought it might, but the modem in the Pixel 8 series just didn't work, so they changed the modem for the Pixel 9 series, and the new modem in the Pixel 9 allows all the Pixel series to have the emergency satellite SOS connectivity. Now, it works very similar to Apple, so I'm not going to go through the whole scenario again, but it works very similar, except we're not talking about the second part that Apple has, which is iMessages through satellite. This is simply an emergency services that you'll be able to connect if you don't have cellular connection. So this should all occur automatically. If all goes well, the satellite SOS should automatically switch over. Your cell phone will identify the fact there is no signal and will automatically switch to plan B, which of course is the satellite connection. So when you hit the emergency services that you need, you're going to send an SOS, then that will be activated automatically. Nothing needs to be done. Now, users will want to make sure that the emergency SOS is properly set up on the Pixel 9. This can be done by opening the Safety app and opening the Emergency SOS section. Because satellite SOS is a fallback, it should automatically turn on and activate in certain situations. Remember, it isn't always going to be an option and won't come into play if there's sufficient internet connectivity with Wi-Fi. As for the satellite SOS options, there are none. Nothing needs to be enabled for the feature to appear when other options fail. And the question is this free? It is exactly the same as the iPhone and is available free of charge with your purchase on a Pixel 9 for 2 years. So there is some confusion between satellite messaging and SOS messaging on your phones. Let me explain the difference. Let's take the SOS messaging. Now, this is a situation where you are outside cellular coverage. You're maybe in your car and you have an accident and you have no cellular coverage. Now, either you or your phone will activate an emergency SOS message needing you need help. This message will be transmitted up to the low orbiting satellite. It then will go through a series of relays and be sent and down to a company that manages the SOS messages. Now, this company can identify where you are because in the message that is sent from your cellular phone in your accident is a GPS location of your position. They then are able to contact the 911 emergency services in the area of that location. And then they, of course, would respond to that. So it's not a two-way communication. This is more of an automated response to an emergency situation. Now, the second is what iPhone is doing. This is a messaging service where you can actually send like text messages, but it's through a satellite. This is not necessarily an emergency situation. This is satellite messaging. And it's different than, of course, the automated emergency SOS that is going through a different system. So now I'd like to talk a little bit more about connecting your iPhone to a satellite. We're going to do a bit of a deeper dive in this. Now with your iPhone 14 or all models later than an iPhone 14, you can connect your iPhone to a satellite to text emergency services, request roadside assistance, message friends or families. So satellites move rapidly, they have low bandwidth, and are located hundreds of miles from Earth up in the sky. So when you use a satellite connection, the experience is different than sending or receiving a message via your cellular connection. So the ideal conditions with direct view of the sky and of the horizon, a message might take 30 seconds to send. It could be longer. It might take over a minute to send under trees with light or medium foliage. If you're under a heavy foliage or surrounded by other obstructions, you might not be able to send to the satellite. So connection times can also be impacted by your surroundings, the length of your message, the status and availability of the satellite network. To use satellite connectivity, your iPhone must have the compatible software. So before you go somewhere with no cellular or Wi-Fi coverage, you should update to the latest version of iOS. Satellite features are included for free for 2 years with the activation of the iPhone 14 or later models. So my advice is you should give it a try. There is a satellite connection demo on your iPhone, and you should give it a try, set it up, and practice it before you actually want to use it. Let's talk about security and privacy. When you text with emergency SOS via satellite, your message is sent in encrypted form and de-encrypted by Apple before being passed along to the emergency service dispatcher or the emergency relay center. Your messages may be retained by emergency service center and the relay provider to improve their services in the compliance with applicable laws. In order to route your text message to a local emergency service organization and to assist responders in reaching you, your location will be shared with Apple and the relay providers when you use the emergency SOS via satellite. When you use the roadside assistance via satellite, your current location will be shared with Apple and the roadside assistance provider temporarily until help arrives. In order to route your message to the roadside assistant provider and assist them in reaching you after help arrives. After the help arrives, location data is no longer shared with Apple and the roadside assistance provider. When you use messages via satellite, this is the message service, your iMessages are end-to-end encrypted so that nobody other than you and the person you are messaging can read them while you're in transit between devices. All right, let's just review this one more time. There are 2 phones that can connect to the satellites. The first is the Pixel 9 series. This is only available in the United States and not available in Alaska or Hawaii. This is a very automated process and quite different from iPhone. There is no setup required. The only thing you have to do is set up through the emergency services on your Pixel 9 phone. Make sure that is complete. And when you have an emergency requiring SOS, then it will automatically switch from cellular to satellite and should connect and get your help sent to you. This is quite different than the iPhone. Now the iPhone can connect to the satellite in Canada and the United States. Those are the 2 countries it's currently working in. Now you have to have iOS 18 or better, but it does go back to the iPhone 14. You should check with your individual phones with Apple just to make sure it works. And also there is a demo activation feature on the phone that you can practice and see how this works. So I would encourage you to spend some time setting this up prior to going camping and getting into trouble. Unlike the Pixel 9, which is all automatic and there's nothing you really need to do, the iPhone takes a little bit of setup. But you have two systems with the iPhone. You have, of course, a messaging system in which you activate it, and it sends an emergency message up to the satellite and then back down and rerouted to emergency services. This service should only be used in emergency situations because it involves emergency crews coming out to try and help you. But there is a second system, which of course is iMessages. This is a messaging service in which you can text and message your loved ones through a satellite. This is really cool, and I would encourage you to try this. Again, available only in Canada and the United States. So 2 different phones, 2 different services, and next year the Samsung S25 will be able to connect to satellites and will offer this program as well. So it's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. I had a lot of fun making it, and I sure learned a lot. So remember that like and subscribe, and until we see you again, have a great day. All right, so that's satellite connection. All right, let's move on. The next video I have for you is interesting. I called it an oldie but a goodie, and I said it's my surprise. Now, I want to just you've probably heard me say this before, but we have over 1 million people that have watched our videos. A lot of people, right? And we have over probably about 1,400 videos on our site. And I look at the stats every day to see which ones are performing. And this video that I'm going to play for you now has been in the top third one for 4 years. And it was told by a master storyteller 4 or 5 years ago, and over 30,000 people have watched this video. And today, if you look at our stats on our channel, it is still the 3rd most popular video that has ever been on there. So I wanted to play this. I think you'll find it very interesting. And of course, it's told by a master storyteller. So let me play that for you today.
Good morning, friends. I'm Dewey, and my Tech Talk topic for today is create a database quickly and easily. If you'd like to create a database of names and addresses or other information for sending holiday cards, or maybe one that lists essential information about everyone you know, since not everyone, of course, has a smartphone or is in your Google contacts, or maybe you've agreed to be the membership secretary for a small club of 20 or 30 members, or maybe a large club of several hundred. So how can you find an easy way to create a database that's a cinch to use and create? Well, I have an answer. If you own a computer with Microsoft Word, doesn't matter whether your version of Word is old or new, it works. Word provides an easy way to create a database. Dewey, you're full of it. Word is for writing letters, making documents. You got to use a spreadsheet like Microsoft Excel or maybe Microsoft Access to do a database. Well, sorry, my friend, but I disagree. And I'm going to show you why in the next couple of minutes. To create a database in Microsoft Word, you need to go to the table function. Regrettably, a lot of Word users don't pay very much attention to tables, but wow, are they valuable in my opinion. And when I searched YouTube, I wasn't even able to find a single YouTube video that demonstrates what I'm about to show you in the next few minutes about creating tables in Microsoft Word or databases. The first step in creating a database is to decide which categories or elements of member information you need at a minimum. Typically, perhaps 5 to 7 are needed, and rarely more than 8 or 9. For the club that I started recently, I decided to use 6 columns or six member information categories and 7 rows for the members that I currently have. I'll start by showing you how to insert a table that self-regulates the size of each cell. For tables that have 6 or more categories, I do suggest that you bring up Microsoft Word with a landscape orientation. If it's less than 4 or 5, you can do it in picture orientation. Well, we're going to go on now. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over here to insert, and here we have table. And you notice we have a grid here that's 10 wide and 8 long, and we could select any combination of groups and click on it, and we would have that table. But the problem is that leaves us without a special thing of adjusting the size of our cells. So we're going to click on Insert Table, where we can of course put in our columns and rows in the upper part. And here under Auto Fit Behavior, we can click Auto Fit to Contents, and that will self-size the width of our cells and make it more efficient. Well, we're going to get out of there now, and so we guess we got to get out of there. Yeah. Anyway, we get out of there now, and I'm going to first of all, I'm going to name my table. Our club is called the Tech Nerds Club. Now we're really nice people, very techy. We don't spell very well. Well, anyway, another good thing to do is to always put down a version number for your database, because as you add and subtract names, you can put the data. If you use the date code like I'm using, see, this one's done on the March 4th, 2021, then you'll know just when things were done. Okay, well, we've got that title, and you want to be sure to save it. You always save your stuff. Now we're going to insert our table, and it's kind of funny looking now because of the auto adjust feature, and we'll put in our categories. Most people put in last name first, and then we have the first name. Now, if you'd prefer it the other way, it's your table, do it the way you want it. I know at one table that I used a couple of years ago, I had the first name because it was small and we were on a first name basis. Okay, well, now we'll go on and we'll put in home address. If you're going to mail things, you want to know that. I put down city, state, zip. You might wonder why put all 3 of those together. Why not separate? Separate takes more space. If you need the zip code for sorting, well, you can make 2 columns, one for city, state, one for zip. And then, of course, you should have a phone number if people are willing to give it, and an email address. Now I'm going to start filling in my very first name. It's good old Bobby Drude. He lives on Nantucket Drive in Janesville, Wisconsin. Phone number, there's his email address. And he's a great fictional friend. And I'll insert some other of my fictional friends here. I've got Mark, who lives in BC, and I've got Nick, who lives in Pittsburgh, and Carl and Walter and Marty, and of course I've got myself. This is a great group of fictional friends, except I'm not fictional, at least the last time I looked. Okay, well, we've got a nice looking little table here, but one thing, it isn't sorted. We aren't in alphabetical order, and that's one of the nice things Microsoft provides a way. All we do is select it, and we can go to the home ribbon, and right here in the middle is the sorting function. Notice there's an A over a Z with a downward arrow. And if we click on that, note what happens. We get a dialog box. We're sorting by last name. We're using text. If we were sorting by zip code, we could choose numbers. Or if we're sorting, and let's say we have a date code, we could sort by date code, but you have to remember the best way to do a date code if you're going to sort. Okay, I can tell you about that another time. Okay, so now we've got this done, and we click OK, and look, all of my last names are now in alphabetical order, and all their information, each member's information went with them in the sorting. That is great. Well, now we've got it alphabetized, but I will say one thing, it looks awfully scrunched. It's pretty nice to have a single line in each cell, but it sure would be nice to have some white space. There is a way, believe it or not, to have white space. And here's the way to do it. we select the table, and we go over here to layout. Right here is spacing, note that. And if we click, we have spacing before, which means a little bit above the name, and after, which is below the name. And so if we click on this arrow, we can add space before the name or above it. If we click on this arrow, we add space below the name. Now look, hasn't that improved the situation a great deal? So it's much better looking. Now we're going to also, if we want to add a little color, we can do this. We could select the header line, and we could go over here to the home screen, and I could go to this fill here and click on perhaps this, and look, we've now got a pretty nice light blue. We could choose other colors, but that looks pretty decent and such. So another thing we can do, we could put a little gray effect in every other line to help distinguish it for readability and so forth. Now, there's one other thing, a couple of other things that I'd like to mention. One is that one advantage of Microsoft Word, of course, you can easily email this to any other members in your group who have Microsoft Word. If they don't have Microsoft Word, there's another way to do it. You can make a PDF of it. In fact, that's probably the best way. Make a PDF and send it to all members. Now, if you're sending it as a Microsoft Word document, you might want to make it a read-only copy so some people don't go in and mess around with your data. Okay, and one other point in all this, some people want to know, can you use this for mail merge? Well, I've used mail merge for years, until about maybe 7, 8 years ago. And I don't know if you can do this in current versions. I think you can, but I haven't investigated how to do it. But they talk about delimiters in doing a mail merge. But anyway, it's a mail merge, if you know what that is. That's when you send out, you create a letter that you want to send the same letter out to everyone. Maybe it's a mailed letter, maybe it's an email or whatever. It's easy to do. Well, anyway, this has been fun, and I hope you've enjoyed my presentation. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and have a great day. And by the way, this is my tech talk for today, and I'm sticking with it. Bye now.
So interesting and well done, Dewey. I do amazing. We, as I said, that consistently is the third top video that we have in our repertoire, and over 30,000 people have watched that. So well done, Dewey. All right, the next one we have for you today is from Bill James, who of course is at his Remembrance Day services now. He's a veteran, but he did send along his video that he made. I asked him, I said, Bill, Windows 11 and Microsoft has a new store, the Microsoft Store, a bunch of new things happening in the store. I said, could you make a video about it? So let's see what Bill has to say.
Exploring the new Microsoft Store in Windows 11. Hi, I'm Bill James, Tech for Senior. You need to watch this if you struggle with finding apps on your PC. Windows 11's new Microsoft Store might be your new best friend. The Microsoft Store in Windows 11 got a sleek new makeover. It's faster, easier to navigate, and packed with features. The biggest game changer? Android apps are now integrated. Yes, you can use some of your favorite mobile apps on your PC. However, the Amazon App Store will be phased out in March 2025. But for now, everything you need is right in the Microsoft Store. From productivity tools to fun games, it's all here. Plus, with improved search and personalized recommendations. Finding apps has never been simpler, so why wait? Dive into the new Microsoft Store and discover a world of possibilities with Windows 11. The new Microsoft Store features a wide range of categories, making it easier to find exactly what you need. You can read detailed reviews and check star ratings to make informed decisions. Downloading and installing apps is now quicker and more efficient. For families, the Microsoft Store offers robust parental controls and family settings. You can customize app settings to suit your preferences. The store provides a seamless experience across all your Windows 11 devices. There's a dedicated section for educational apps, perfect for students and lifelong learners. Gamers will love the extensive collection of games, from old favorites to the newest titles. Boost your productivity with a variety of tools designed to help you work smarter. And for entertainment, there's a plethora of apps for streaming, music, and more. Keeping your apps up to date is a breeze with automatic update notifications. Need help? The support section offers comprehensive assistance and FAQs. Don't miss out on special offers and discounts available regularly. You can easily share your favorite apps with friends and family. The store also includes enhanced accessibility features to ensure everyone can use it comfortably. Personalize the store interface to match your style and preferences. Developers will find a wealth of tools and resources to create and publish their apps. Enjoy a seamless app experience with apps optimized for Windows 11. Your feedback is valuable, and the store makes it easy to provide it. Stay updated with the latest releases and trending apps. Security is a top priority, with robust measures to protect your data and privacy. With all these features and more, the new Microsoft Store in Windows 11 is your one-stop shop for all your app needs. Dive into the new Microsoft Store and discover a world of possibilities with Windows 11. To find the Microsoft Store, simply click on the Start menu and look for the Microsoft Store icon. You will need a Microsoft account to download and install apps. If you don't have one, you can easily create it during the sign-in process. The next time you need an app, take a look in the Microsoft Store. This is Bill James, Tech for Senior. Thanks for watching and listening.
In the vast ocean of the internet, clickbait is the digital equivalent of a flashy lure designed to reel you in. These tantalizing headlines promise shocking revelations or life-changing secrets, but often lead to content that's as satisfying as a soggy sandwich. Let's dive into the art of spotting clickbait and learn how to avoid these traps with a smile. Number 1, the curiosity gap. You won't believe what happens next. Clickbait thrives on creating a curiosity gap, that nagging feeling of needing to know more. Headlines like "This simple trick will change your life forever" are crafted to exploit the gap, enticing you to click. If a headline seems too vague or sensational, it's likely clickbait. Ask yourself, does this headline provide enough information to be credible? Number 2, sensationalism over substance. Shocking news about your favorite celebrity. Clickbait often relies on sensationalism, using exaggerated language to grab attention. Phrases like unbelievable, jaw-dropping, or you won't believe are red flags. Approach sensational headlines with skepticism. If it sounds too outrageous to be true, it probably is. Number 3, misleading thumbnails. Doctors hate her for this one weird trick. Some clickbait uses eye-catching images that may not relate to the actual content. These chum boxes are designed to lure you in with curiosity. However, hover over links to preview the URL. If the destination seems dubious or unrelated to the headline, steer clear. Number 4, overuse of lists. Top 10 secrets to eternal youth. Listicles are popular in clickbait because they're easy to skim and share. However, they often lack depth and provide little value. Consider the source. Reputable sites may use lists, but they back them up with quality content. If the list seems superficial, it might be clickbait. Number 5, emotional manipulation. This heartwarming story will restore your faith in humanity. Clickbait often tugs at your heartstrings or provokes outrage to elicit a click. This rage baiting is designed to manipulate your emotions. Be mindful of your emotional responses. If a headline seems designed to provoke a strong reaction, it's worth questioning its intent. Number 6, impersonation of legitimate sources. Breaking news from CNN. Some clickbait mimics reputable news outlets to appear credible. These fake news websites use similar logos and layouts to deceive readers. Verify the source. Click the URL and look for official verification marks. If something feels off, it probably is. Number 7, promises of exclusive content. Only hear the secret the government doesn't want you to know. Clickbait often promises exclusive or hidden information to entice clicks. These claims are usually baseless and designed to exploit your curiosity. Be skeptical of grandiose claims. Reliable information is typically available from multiple reputable sources. Number 8, poor grammar and spelling. You won't believe what happened next. Many clickbait articles are hastily written and riddled with errors. This lack of professionalism is a telltale sign. Trust your instincts. If a headline looks unprofessional, it's likely not worth your time. Number 9, overemphasis on virility. This video is taking the internet by storm. Clickbait often emphasizes how popular or viral something is to create a fear of missing out. Remember, popularity doesn't equate to quality. Just because something is viral doesn't mean it's valuable. Number 10, the bait and switch. Free iPhone just for you. Some clickbait promises something enticing, but delivers something entirely different, often leading to ads or scams. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Avoid offers that seem overly generous or unrealistic. In conclusion, navigating the internet's sea of content requires a discerning eye. By recognizing these common clickbait tactics, you can avoid the traps and focus on content that truly enriches your online experience. Stay safe, stay secure, and stay curious, but also stay critical. Your time and attention are valuable. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye, and thanks for Here is a Tech for Senior tip. Enjoy! Microsoft is rolling out a new feature for the File Explorer that will allow you to see your files that are stored on your Android device. Let me show you how it works, and let me give you a hint in case you're having a problem. If you look at my File Explorer, you'll notice there is something now there for a Pixel 6. Which is my Android phone. I can select it and it opens up the storage, which is all the files on that Pixel 6 device. Storage, and then let's do it easy. DCIM and go to camera, and once you're in the camera, here are all the images stored on your device. Images and also any videos that you may have. But you can now directly through File Explorer access your Android devices. It works in both Windows 11 and Windows 10. The first time I clicked on Pixel, I got a message because there was a setting on my Android device that needed to be turned on, and the setting was for all file access. So go to settings, All File Access, select All File Access, and then look for something that says Link to Windows is allowed. Make sure that Link to Windows is allowed. If that's not allowed, you won't see anything when you try to get to your device on the File Explorer. Simple little trick. If you have an Android device, give it a try as soon as it's available. As I said, this is being rolled out slowly by Microsoft. Eventually, everybody will have it for both Windows 11 and Windows 10. Stay safe, stay secure. I hope that helps. Bye-bye, and thanks for reading, watching, and listening.
All right. Thank you, Bob. Thanks a lot. Ray, just before I get you going here, I want to thank everyone for coming and listening over on our YouTube feed. Thank you. We still have some room here on our meeting. If you want to pop over and participate in the Q&A, you're most welcome. Don't forget, we have our premier education video coming up at 1:30. So, Ray, let me just turn off our feed here, and then we'll get you going.
Okay, I'm going to try this from Las Vegas just with one little laptop and not my normal setup, but I think it's going to work. Here we go. Oops. All right, can you still hear me?
Yep.
Okay, let me just move this out of the way. Today we're going to talk about the life and music of Quincy Jones. So Quincy Delight Jones Jr. was born March 14, 1933 in Chicago, Illinois. His father was a semi-professional basketball player and carpenter, while his mother was a bank officer and apartment manager. Tragically, his mother suffered from schizophrenia, leading to her institutionalization when Quincy was young. Jones' early exposure to music came from his environment. The jazz clubs of Chicago were a rich source of inspiration, and he quickly developed a passion for music. At the age of 10, he moved to Bremerton, Washington, with his father and siblings. It was there that he began to play the trumpet and developed a keen interest in arranging music. Now, Quincy's prodigious talent earned him a scholarship to Seattle University, where he met and befriended a young musician named Ray Charles. After a year, he seized the opportunity to tour with Lionel Hampton's band as a trumpeter and arranger. Jones' skill as an arranger quickly garnered attention, leading to opportunities to work with a variety of artists in the burgeoning jazz scene. By the 1950s, he was arranging and conducting for stars like Dizzy Gillespie, Count Basie, and Duke Ellington. In the 1960s, Quincy Jones transitioned into the world of music production. He became one of the first African Americans to hold an executive position at a major record label when he was appointed vice president of Mercury Records. His keen ear for talent and innovative production techniques led to a series of successful albums, including his work with Frank Sinatra on It Might As Well Be Swing and Sinatra at the Sands. He ventured into the world of film scoring, composing the soundtracks for films such as Pawnbroker, In the Heat of the Night, and the groundbreaking television series Roots. Perhaps one of Quincy Jones' most iconic accomplishments, and let me just move this out of the way a little bit here. Perhaps one of Quincy Jones' most iconic accomplishments was his collaboration with Michael Jackson. Their partnership began with the 1979 album Off the Wall, which was a commercial and critical success, followed by Thriller, which would become the best-selling album of all time. He co-produced the charity single We Are the World in 1985, which brought together a supergroup of artists to raise funds for famine relief in Africa. The song became one of the best-selling singles of all time and highlighted Jones' commitment to using music as a force for positive change. Jones' impact on the music industry is immeasurable. He has won 28 Grammy Awards, making him one of the most awarded artists in Grammy history. His work has influenced countless musicians across genres, and his legacy continues to inspire new generations of artists. Quincy Jones passed away on November 3, 2024, at the age of 91. As we celebrate his achievements, we are reminded of the power of music to transcend boundaries and bring people together, something I believe for a long, long time. Today's clip is from 2001, when Jones received the Kennedy Center Honors, which are considered the highest recognition for artistic excellence in the United States. Go ahead, Ron. I got it. Do I need to stop sharing?
Nope. I'll do that. I got it.
Okay,
Just have a look.
I can do it right now.
No, I can. I've got it here.
Okay. Quite a few well-known people sitting in the box there with Quincy Jones.
Wow. That was amazing, Ray. Well done. Well done.
Thank
Well
you.
done. All right. I see Bill James has arrived. Bill, put your hand up. Say hello. He maybe.
He's there. Bill, are you still in the parade?
No, the parade just ended. It was a really nice parade. There was probably 100 people, 100 units rather, and we had 8 Mustangs. So our little town really puts on a pretty good parade.
Very good. Welcome.
Nice.
Well, and thank you for your service.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to open it up now for questions, Q&A. If you have any questions about satellite and your cell phone, any questions about any of the huge number of topics we've talked about today, please put up your hand and we'll certainly attempt to answer them. And don't forget, half past the hour, Chromebook buying guide, Copilot settings by Bob, and also setting up the emergency services on your phone, which is sort of follows into the satellite emergency services if you, of course, have a Pixel 9 or iPhone. I think we have our first question, Carl.
Yeah, does those access to satellite cost a fee? Do you have to subscribe?
Nope. As I said, it's available both on the iPhone 9 and the Pixel 9, and the iPhone is free for 2 years, which is great because you can send all those, not on the Pixel, but on the if you have an iPhone, you can send all your messages through satellites free for 2 years. So it's a great.
So it's not limited to emergencies then.
No, not on the iPhone. And the way that Apple has it, there's 2 different systems. There's the emergency systems that you use, which of course is the legacy one that has been around for a while. But then there's the new system they've brought out, which is called Messages. And this is through satellite. And it's different service. And you can use that to talk to your friends and family and your loved ones. And it's not an emergency issue. So, and it's free. It's part of your system and is available for 2 years after you purchase your phone.
Does it use the Elon Musk satellite system?
I don't know what satellites they use. I don't know because of course it's only the iPhone system is only available in Canada, the United States. It's not worldwide, and the Pixel phone is only available in the United States. So I don't know what satellites they're using. That information is not available, but it must be sort of part of where they buy the satellite broadcast for that part of the world. That's probably
last comment sounds like a future tech story.
Yeah, well, it's an evolving story because of course the S25 is coming. Samsung's new S25 is coming out next year, and that will be a big feature that they're going to be, bringing up to speed so that they're now competitive with the iPhone. So we'll see. So it's changing and evolving as we move ahead.
Thank you.
But as I said earlier, it's something that as we head the roads for our holidays and coming up for Thanksgiving, you might be out traveling through areas that doesn't have good cellular service. You might be going through mountains or going through terrain that you just don't have very good service. So, and since, like I think in the United States, there's 60% of the people have iPhones. So there's a big chunk of people that have these. You should be setting this up because it's definitely worth it, and it will connect you even if you don't have cellular coverage. All right. Any other questions? Chris and Jim, you must have a question. Nothing?
No, nothing.
Speechless.
I got nothing.
You got nothing.
I just want on the way out satellite messaging. I thought I do have an iPhone 14 and I did a little video on this too, but I thought I would try it when we were in Cuba because there is no cell service there whatsoever. And it wouldn't work. And then oh yeah, it's only available in the US.
And
So
Canada.
No, yes, in Canada, yes.
but one other just little thing, I usually demonstrate what can happen when you have no cellular by turning off the cellular. Well, you can't do the cellular does have to be on in order for the satellite to be available. It has
Right.
to see that there is no cell service.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
That's right. So otherwise, I guess they'd have everybody tuned into the satellite.
But what a great safety feature.
Yeah.
That's the way it's all going to go that way.
It
Oh,
is.
yeah.
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 Yep.
Yeah.
It's
For
going to
sure.
get better and more reliable, and yeah.
For sure. All right. Well, I want to thank. So, if we have no further questions, I want to thank, of course, Huey for being here, and thank you for. We look forward to being with us on Thursday. We'll have for those of you who like to keep up on the news, we have of course our news service on Thursday, in which we will discuss all the news of the week. Bob, thank you for your great videos. I'm not sure I quite liked your video about limiting my ability to buy things on Amazon.
You're not limiting anything.
Yeah,
You're just
I
bringing
don't
out
like
the
it.
fact that you don't need so much.
I don't
All
like
right,
it because
okay.
I'm a plopper. If there's a free space on my table, I plop things on there because I always know where they are.
Yeah.
And
I suspect
and they get
my
away
wife
from me sometimes.
I suspect my wife was talking to Bob and she probably got him to make that movie. Anyway, thanks so much. Thank you, Chris and Jim, for being here. And we look forward to your video next week on some aspect of pictures and movies and Google Photos. And Bill James, thank you so much for your video today. We'll certainly head out and explore the Microsoft Store now and see some of the new features that are there. And I think that, and thank you for Dewey Kloos for his great video. He's a master storyteller, as you all know, and has and really did a great job with that video. And that's probably why 30,000 people have watched that video. So anyway, I put the link in the chat as well to the video. So, or just go to our site and just go to our YouTube site and type in Word and to do the search, and you'll find it pops right up. Otherwise, we'll see everybody same time, same place next week. Enjoy your holiday today, if it is a holiday, and we will see you either on Thursday or next week. Bye for now.
Bye.
Hi, everybody.